So George has the idea of starting a YouTube account, and we post the first video, the montage.
Are you thinking this is going to be a business? Or are you just like, maybe there'll be a little ad revenue or something like that?
We didn't know, but we knew that no one was like Dude Perfect was making a business.
Yes.
There was no one in golf, and like it was popular. So I was like, I have no money, I'm broke. I have the time to at least make the effort to see, like, because who knows, maybe it could. And so that the first video,
so the first video gets like 20 to 50,000 views on it. We're like, whoa, like that was a huge jump from someone that has 0 subscribers on YouTube. And so then we do it again, and then before you know it, we had a legitimate business out of it.
Yeah.
All right. Before we talk about military planes, start from the very beginning. Names and where you're from.
George Bryan from Columbia, currently reside in Aiken, South Carolina.
I'm Wesley Bryan from Columbia, South Carolina, currently reside just outside of Columbia, South Carolina.
There you go. And where are we?
Columbia. Well,
no. What's the golf course?
Oh, Solina Golf Club.
Spot.
Yeah, this is our home course.
Yeah, you're home away from home.
Yeah.
And when we grew up, it was actually Indian River. Our pops was, I think, the first head pro out here.
Yeah.
Really?
And,
So So at what age do y'all think was the first age you guys came out to this golf course?
Probably when it opened in
between 91 and 93, or 90 and 93. So I'd have been 2 to 5 years old. And I was definitely here whenever that was. So
don't remember it all, but I'm sure we were in.
Vaguely, I remember one of the courses. It might have been here where like we would watch like Dad would work, and there was like a room that we would watch like movies or TV or nap in or something. I do remember that. It could have been here because it does seem like the setup of which
they made like a little baby room for you guys.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I don't know if I was like 2 or 5. Sure, I mean, it's a long time ago. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So this really is home then.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So when do you think you guys first got a golf club in your hand? Right around the same time?
Yeah, it's all blurry. I mean, it truly could have been like 1, 2 years old.
Right.
3.
Don't remember not having one in our hands.
Right. Was it? Did you? Because my kids kind of don't. I've been putting golf clubs in their hands, and they don't love it. They just kind of like. Was it always just like love at first walking around, or was it more like, some people, they get it and they fall in love immediately, and some don't.
Yeah.
Was it immediate for y'all? Just like, this is home, I have a golf club, this is what I do?
It had to have been, because like I truly don't remember not having one, and every time I had one in my hand, I was happy and I enjoyed it. Going, like everything about golf, going to the golf course and getting in the ball pit, picking up golf balls out to then go to the range to hit. I mean, 2, 3, there was never a bad time that I had a golf club. And like by 6 or 7, I was playing, I think 7 was my first tournament I played in, and was already like wanting to compete and do things, or like, whatever. So I think it was always great for me.
And for me, I don't remember much, obviously, as a kid. Brain doesn't always work the greatest. But what I do remember is it just being another avenue, another outlet for George and I to be competitive and bicker and fight and hug it out and cry it out and vent to mom and dad, but also to like celebrate each other's successes and all that stuff. So whether it was video games or pick up basketball, or I mean, with the little Nerf basketball hoop in our room, like whatever it was, we were going to be super competitive. And our pops just happened to drag us to the golf course with them to work just about every day. And anyway, we fell in love. I think for me, first, I fell in love with the competition aspect with George. And then it just happened to be, we got relatively good, relatively quick with a golf club in our hand. So that was going to be the outlet for us to carry on like junior golf, amateur golf, college golf, and ultimately led to professional golf and then YouTube.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. I remember like if I would have been bad at it, would I have kept it going? But maybe it was one of those things where I was like, you're so young where you, like, even if you are bad, you, like, it doesn't matter. But when you get 4 or 5 or 6, when you start like actually, because like I said, we just never were bad at it, and so I think that helps. Like that we had a skill that we were like, wow, we're kind of good. Or
did you guys always kind of go back and forth, or was like one brother better than the other early, and like the other had to chase?
George was always better.
Yeah, because I mean, I was 2 years older, always ahead, and physically I was a little more gifted than most too. I was pretty long and just hit the ball really nice. So I was a little bit higher than most, but I'd say 13, 14, 15, you kind of start when he's 12, 11, starts like kind of creeping. But once we were like senior in high school, he was sophomore in high school, that's when it was like very...
Sure.
Yeah.
I was still better, but it was the gap was closed. And then by, like
once we got to that point, I was like, I'm not saying like fully developed as a man, but when you start start carrying the ball to 70, to 80 or whatever as a junior, sophomore, freshman, around that age range is when like my good days, I would sneak up on them real quick.
Things got tight there.
Was there a day when you were like, oh my God, I finally beat him?
I don't remember that day. I remember so many times. It was a running joke for the longest time. It didn't matter if I went to the last hole with tied for the lead or have a one-shot lead. George would birdie the last hole every single time. And what a lot of people, like since we've gotten into the YouTube thing or me playing on the PGA Tour or whatever, like I've kind of turned into more of the closer, and George is kind of the one that melts and falls apart.
Absolutely.
But back in middle school, high school, college, and shortly thereafter, like if I had a one-shot lead, I knew best case scenario I was having a tied match. Best case scenario.
It is funny, complete role reversal now. It's like if I have a one-stroke lead, it's a miracle if I somehow get into the house, and it's because usually he does something bad, and I can just kind of like, okay, fine.
Was there a point, probably that high school time, probably college time, when you guys like, I think I could make a career out of this, or just I want to chase this pro dream?
It's probably before then. For
me,
I
was watching George at age 15. You knew that guy was going to play golf at a high level.
Because I knew like Dad had golf pro, had his own golf academy, and I knew like the only thing I loved was golf. Like as far as that I could see myself doing for a job, and I was like, I'm either going to be on the PGA Tour or I'm going to teach golf, or kind of like Dad. So I knew it was like golf in one way, shape, or form. And again, I tracked all the way, from junior golf, college, to, I'm going to be on the PGA Tour. And again, it was because of that early age. I just kind of knew, and I always was like driven to practice, not just for like to win junior tournaments or college tournaments, but to like try to be on the PGA Tour one day and make it my job.
Yeah, and so our path is a little different than junior golf today. Junior golf today has turned into more of like a true travel sport with national and international tournaments, whereas we stayed in South Carolina. Our dad basically told us, he just said, and at the time, like AJGA was doing great and getting really popular, and everybody was traveling around and playing, but our dad was very adamant about us staying in South Carolina. You'll have the opportunity to play in front of all the coaches that you want. Like if you're good, the coaches will find you. You don't need to go and travel and play. And so every step along the way, George was the best in his age group, whether it was 10 to 12, 13, 14, 15 to 18. Those were the age breakdowns. And George was always by far the best player. And then get to college, and George is the 3-time All-American, best guy on the college team year after year after year. And for me, I was like kind of in the conversation in the age groups. I knew probably by the age of 16, 17 that my good was like really, really good. Now my bad was still bad. I needed to work on a little bit of the consistency thing, but I knew when I got it rolling that I could for sure make a career out of it. And again, didn't have a lot of success through college. And even on the mini tours, I didn't have a whole lot of success, but it was just one of those things, like the good days, I just had so much belief that I could eventually make it. But we had very different paths.
Is that some of that belief come from like on your best days, like you could keep up with him? So you're like, oh, if I can keep up with him.
No, my best days at that age, I was just beating the brakes off of him.
Is that true?
17, 18, I mean, it was just like my best days, I would beat the brakes off him. So, it was very like, like
you went back
when he was 15, 16, he was one of the best in the state. But then like 16, 17, he was one of the, like, I'd say top 5 in the whole country. But 16, 17, I can't remember when it was, but he was one of, like, I'd say his senior year in high school, one of the best in the country. But no one knew about him because we played local. But again, he dominated junior golf in South Carolina, dominated high school, played in some U.S. juniors. I don't know, I can't remember if he played well, but like qualified for all these things and played well at a high level. So you could see, like, and like I said, his top end was, I mean, because again, he was kind of opposite me, very much like people see on YouTube today, the personality. Like when he got rolling back then, it was a more aggressive version than what it is now. And again, he had this belief in himself, believed in his golf game, and didn't matter what it looked like. He knew he was going to do what it takes to win, to play well, to beat the person beside him.
And what was odd is we never really had like seasonally. George always played great in the spring and the fall during the college season. I always played great in the summer. So we would go to the big amateur tournaments, traveling together in the summer, and I played awesome, and George would struggle. And then we get back to school, and I would have all these super high expectations, and I'd go fall flat on my face in the fall and look like a guy that could barely even make a college lineup as a top 20 amateur in the world. And George finishes 50th in all these big amateur tournaments, and then gets to school and is competing week in and week out with a chance to win. And so like we just never quite matched up our great until the day I turned pro. George was going through a slump, had missed a lot of cuts in mini tours, and basically bled dry financially, and he was kind of on his last little limb.
No, not yet. That was last
close.
Few limbs.
Yeah, it was close.
The last limb was coming in a little bit later down the road. but it was
good. George was hanging on by a thread. Yeah. I turned pro, and I had a relatively good final semester of college, and I turned pro, and I'm thinking like, I'm watching George, and
George is trash right now. He's got no
chance. This is my time, and I'm telling you, I think he's coming off like 5 or 6 missed cuts in a row in mini tour events. And I tee it up in my first event, and I play great. George is kind of at the he's made a cut, and then surges up the leaderboard. And George is like, we're in the final group, I think.
No way.
It was close to like,
or maybe the next to last group.
Next last group. We're playing like
both
really
have
well.
A chance to win our first event. And I was like, all it takes is me turning pro, me being in a tournament with George after 2 years off.
I found it.
And George is all of a sudden back, and George played great for that summer.
A little stretch. I played really solid. And
then it came.
What was the last limb?
The last leg, I'd say, again, I turned pro, and like, again, pro golf just did me, I thought I needed to be something different for pro golf than I was in college. But also I went through like a little mini slump right before turning pro that kind of hurt the confidence. And I'm like, well, great, of course I'm about to turn pro. And if you've watched the channel at all, like I'm very distracted like a squirrel, and so we have some stuff going on in the background that I just had no chance of.
Usually it's airplanes.
Or just anything.
Usually
conversations, airplanes. Walking. No, but the last straw, so that was like 2012. He turned pro, played okay 2012. In 2013, like, I don't remember, I think that was the year where I played okay at times, but never like, the game never was what it was in like college golf. And also kind of was my benchmark. Instead of like trying to get better, I was like, God, why am I not playing as well as I was then? So you kind of start questioning whatever. And I think I missed like 5 or 6, maybe like 7 or 8 cuts in a row, like to close out from like spring to summer. I'm like, I just ran out basically all my money. Like we're starting to kind of have those conversations like, well, bank account's low, sponsorships are kind of done.
Still got Q School coming up this fall. That's going to be another like $5 to $10 grand at least.
Yeah, and so I'm like, what the heck? Like, what am I going to like? I start thinking like, I'll caddy here and there to make some money. I'll give some lessons to try to pay for it. And again, it was a multitude of things. It was me, my personality. Like I tried too hard to like be a pro golfer instead of just do what I was doing. A little mini slump that I just couldn't get out of, and so you go to tournaments, knowing how good you are, but shooting 71s and 72s and 70s, and just not like doing what you needed to do to get to that next level. And then you kind of run out of funds, and you're like, well, shoot, what do we do? And then
my skill set is about zero when it comes to making money apart from golf, and I can't make money playing golf. So now what do I do?
So now what do you do?
Yeah. And so that, and all the while, Wesley turned pro playing nice, and I'm seeing him play well. So he like, who's to know like how long it would actually taken him to get to the tour? But like you could see like it was a brand of golf that was going to translate to anywhere he played, where mine would only translate at the like on a decent day at my home course.
Yeah, like, but at the time, like I had missed Q School. So you fast forward into pro golf a little bit. George had missed Q School for 5 or 6 straight years. I'd missed Q School for 3 straight years, and
So now what are the conversations like when you guys are together?
Well, now George is broke. I'm broke, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to stay.
You're a little less broke because your deals were 2012 to 2014, so a 3-year deal. You had some that were George, they were not much.
I had one deal that was paying me $2,500 a quarter.
Yeah, no, pro golf. That's not
I know
bad.
it was great. TaylorMade absolutely took a flyer on me out of college. The fact that I even got that contract was unbelievable. But at the end of the day, that's just that's 1 week of expenses.
Sure.
Well, and so I was afforded the luxury.
Something. Mine came to an end at 2012, 2010, 11, 12. So 13, I was kind of riding the fumes of that previous year, and so then no one re-signed. Like no one's re-signed a failed mini tour player. Yes, I had a good college career, but that was 3 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm like,
now what?
I have no idea. So then that probably can catch us up to where we enter this kind of conversation.
Sure.
While we're here now,
that's where I was getting at. You guys are kind of looking around like, what's next?
Yeah, and it truly was just timing, lucky thing. Broke, out of money, time. We see these two kids on the internet. I think it was two. I know what the shot was.
No, I know it was two.
On SportsCenter top 10, number one play of a guy chipping it and the other guy hitting it out of midair, and it went crazy in the internet. I'm like, well, we could probably.
I'll be like, that didn't. They didn't look like golf. They looked like golfers, but you can tell kind of a skill level.
They were, yeah.
And then I was like, I think we can. It didn't look
Had you guys
hard.
done stuff like that before? Or were you guys just like, we're good enough, we could definitely do that?
You've done like the Tiger Woods commercial, juggle the ball up and hit it. Right. And so we're like,
there was never a moment when you were kids like, oh, you know what? We're doing trick shots together on the driving range.
Let's just try and see. And we went out there just messing around and found that I had a talent of, for some reason, hitting a ball out of midair. And George was like, I think we got something. Let's
So
make like a little highlight.
Did you do it here? Did you do it? Was it out here?
No, it was in our backyard. It was at our parents' house.
So what are you doing? You're just throwing golf balls at them?
Well, no, I just chipped it. It was literally recreated that same shot.
Oh, okay.
And airplane. No, we recreated that same shot and just posted it on Instagram. I think it was my personal Instagram account. And for the reason, like, more people liked that video and whatever and commented than all my other posts, but also like more people than I had friends saw it. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, kind of broke. It broke contained from your normal.
Yeah, like this is like normal. Like this was outside. Like it going up to church, people saying, "Oh, I love that video. That was so cool. I was insane." And you're like, man, there's like people saying how cool that is. So then I was like, well, let's like do another one. But I think that was the second one where we did like a handful of maybe like a series of 3 shots, and then posted that one. And again, the same kind of thing. It just kind of goes viral within the golf world-ish. Like, I can't remember the exact, but like again, you're starting to see more views and like comments than we have friends. And we're like, this is like maybe we have something. And all the while, we're watching Dude Perfect, Brody Smith, these like content creators do sports stuff.
Got it.
But then there's no golfer doing just golf stuff like full time. Like the trick shots have popped up in various forms, but not like continual, like, consistent
all golf.
Yeah.
So George decides to start a YouTube account, and we put our first video on YouTube. And again, we got no subscribers, no nothing. And the first video gets like 50 to 70,000 views on it.
Yeah.
And
but I think the first one didn't get that many. It was just like viral on Twitter and
on YouTube, because
it was like 10 or 20,000, whatever it was more. So yeah. You go ahead, man.
Okay, yeah, I'll say it. So George has the idea of starting a YouTube account, and we post the first video, the montage.
Are you thinking this is going to be a business? Or are you just like, maybe there'll be a little ad revenue or something like that?
We didn't know, but we knew that no one was doing, like, Dude Perfect was making a business.
Yes.
There was no one in golf, and like it was popular. So I was like, I have no money, I'm broke. I have the time to at least make the effort to see, like, because who knows, maybe it could. And so that the first video.
So the first video gets like 20 to 50,000 views on it. We're like, whoa, like that was a huge jump from someone that has 0 subscribers on YouTube. And so then we do it again, and then before you know it, we had a legitimate business out of it.
Yeah.
So you get the first couple posts, and they're hitting, and you guys are probably shocked. And now are you trying to make this decision? Like, what do we do now? Are we going to make this obviously not a full-time thing, but you're like, how much do we pursue this to maybe the detriment of chasing our pro dream? Or was it always like, we could do both?
Well, I was willing to, as my track record at the time, the previous, like, whatever how many months with golf, I was like, it can't get any worse for me. So, like, I'm willing to, like, like I got nothing to lose. Like in my mind, I have nothing to lose. But like I wanted to, like Wesley was still young and playing well. I was like, hey, I'm gonna take all the like, I wasn't doing much. I'd show up to where he needed to be to make sure he could practice and prepare. I would handle all the stuff, but like I knew that it was worth trying and pushing because at the time I didn't have a job. I was very flexible. I was still working on my game a little bit. Or I mean, still practicing, but like I knew the only way I do Q school is if I figure out how to pay for it, or I have bills. Not a lot of bills. I was living at home at the time to pay. But I needed to do something, and I had the time. And so we went for it. And like Wesley said, probably 3 or 4 videos in, we got our first like email. Hey, we'd love to. I think we want to use your video in one of those like, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to use and license your video. And we're like, wait, really?
Just license our video? Yeah, go for it.
Yes. Anyway, so that's when we got our manager now, Joe Gillen, buddy from college. I was like, hey, we need to send this to someone smarter than us to like read this through this. Yeah. Hey, Joe, like, you want to be like our agent or like just to read through this email? Did it. And then very shortly after, we did like an actual brand deal for this club company to use their driver in a video, and I found the like contract the other day, and
a $200 contract.
No way.
Yeah.
$200.
Yeah, and we were like,
one video. We're like, we did it.
Yeah, we made it.
And so, but that again, that's you kind of start seeing like, wow, if this one company is willing to pay a couple $100, like, not saying it could get more than that, but we don't know. Like, let's just keep doing this and keep putting out fun videos that people are enjoying, and like maybe other brands will reach out, and that's kind of the snowball led to one thing after another. Did a shoot with Golf Digest shortly after, got hooked up with GoPro, and did these sponsored.
I saw the GoPro video. I was looking those up the other day. It's funny to watch you guys back then.
Well, initially GoPro, they were like, hey, can we just send you some cameras to go film a video? Y'all shoot it all how y'all would normally shoot a video. Just send us all the footage and we'll put it on GoPro's channel. And at the time, I mean, GoPro was huge, popping off 10, 20 million view videos, like just like weekly or monthly. Yeah. And so we were like, this could be a huge break for us.
Right.
And again, we had Joe kind of in the corner at the time. Like we were kind of formalizing a partnership with GoPro, using like, hey, we know we're going to be on their platform and featured in a lot of their stuff. Now we go to Company X and be like, hey, this is how things are escalating. They've got their own platform. They've got GoPro's platform as well that they're going to be featured on. Now it opened up conversations, bigger conversations, to where I remember Callaway was the first company that really, really took a flyer on us. And the day that we signed that deal, like that was the time where, for me, for the first time, I felt financial freedom and being able to chase pro golf to where I didn't necessarily have to like worry about the making cut, missing cut, because I had a steady stream of income coming from that. Now, there were a lot of obligations to it.
Yeah. Of course.
It was a huge time commitment. We knew at that point, like, we had to be very serious about elevating, like, our content to at least give Callaway some sort of value. And I just sit, I remember thinking, like, right now, I am playing the best golf of my life. Like,
it truly was.
I had gone like 2 or 3 years of mini tours. Now, I didn't get through Q school, but 2 or 3 solid years of mini tours where I just didn't miss any cuts. Now, I didn't play great, but
good golf.
But my golf game was in such a good spot.
And that's because you just felt like you weren't worried about the other stuff.
Yes, kind of. There was a freedom attached there, but I had progressed. I definitely felt like my game as a whole over the last 3 years, with or without trick shots, had gotten better. But it really turned a corner.
When the trick shots came.
When the trick shots came, like full steam ahead. So now we're getting pulled a million different directions there. I've got no time to play in tournaments, but when I would tee it up, I was still playing great. And so I'm caught in the middle of like, this is a very viable path. Like this is the first very tangible.
Y'all have got something here.
Yeah, business that we have. But I've also got my dream that I've had since, again, what we were talking about earlier in the interview, from the age, I can't even remember, since I had a golf club in my hand, of I wanted to play on the PGA Tour. And so I'm telling you, right at the height of, we were at a lot of tipping points of, hey, if we wanted to go all in on this, it was going to be a very fruitful decision that we could have made.
Yeah.
And I got through Q school that fall.
Right.
And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like,
what have I done?
There is no way I can play on was web.com at the time, but now Korn Ferry Tour, cannot play a full schedule traveling 25, 30 weeks or whatever and maintain this trick shot thing. So like there was just no way.
And another angle of that is we were doing live shows too that were probably the most fruitful of them all. And so
we had a couple people call and do a live show, and they sent what they had their entertainment budget as, and we were like, oh my gracious!
And so that was another thing. Like you tack in
for 30 minutes,
a handful of those throughout the year on top of it. Like we're like, this is like, I can pay for like Q school. Like we can like restart my career. But then like Wesley said, it was right then. He gets through Q school, and it's like
that's the worst thing ever.
Now I've got George over here. He's like, I need you. I need you. You're the one that hits the ball out of the air. I'm just kind of a setup guy. I can't do it on my own.
Truly, like that's what like I was a setup guy. I could not do what he did, and that like that. And again, it's funny to look back on now, but it was real like interesting. So I'm like, well, what do I do? So then I'm like, let's say I'll caddy for you. The only way to like keep this thing going,
the Bryan Bros brand alive,
it's like maybe it's
transition to playing a little bit.
It's like I can document your story. I can at least be there to post on Instagram, Snapchat at the time, make YouTube videos of vloggy stuff, but just like be on the bag with you. I'll take a pay cut to come loop for you. But I knew like in my head, I was like, it's not trick shots. This is a way that we can be relevant. He doesn't have to give up the whole brand.
Right, and you want that for him too, right?
Yeah. And so we go down to Panama for my first event after getting through Q school, and we almost win the golf tournament. George is on the bag, finished like top 7 probably. And at that point, like top 25, get your PGA Tour card. And I'm looking at it, I was like, well, I'm 7th on the list or 6th on the money list now after one event. Then we go to Bogota, I miss the cut, which again, that's kind of what I've got no expectations whatsoever. The fact that I got to play in one of those events felt like I accomplished a dream.
They basically locked up your card for the rest of the year.
Well, no.
But 7th place, that would have reshuffled you in. For
I was good to play a full season.
Sure. So because when you get your Korn Ferry, you're not guaranteed the whole year. Like you have to get. And so that 7th I knew locked him up for a full Korn Ferry year, and so which is a big deal.
So then there's a huge break between the 2nd and the 3rd event. So we get back on doing some trick shot stuff and filming content because we have some contracts now that we are obligated to fulfill, and so we try and knock out as much as we can. We plan a couple shoots. So then we go to my 3rd event. And George is on the bag, and we find ourselves like in the last group, or the next to last group with a chance to win. And I come to the last hole with a 1-shot lead. And so I hit a couple amazing shots. Anyway, finish it off, make par, win the golf tournament. So now I basically locked up my tour card now. And I remember that we had a shoot scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, directly after in Dallas. So George and I, right after I win my first Korn Ferry event,
drive over to
lock up my tour card, got to get in a car and drive 10 hours to Dallas.
No, it was like 5 hours to Dallas, 6 hours to Dallas. And then, we drove to Louisiana.
And then 15 back or 13 back from Dallas, whatever it was. And then we
filmed. What was that car ride like?
You guys, golly,
I'll tell you what, we took a left out of the golf course, and there was a Taco Bell right there on the right, and we stopped in and we hammered it, and we drove. And so I just made $99,000, and George...
You can have as much Taco Bell as you want,
George had scratched up my driver in a little incident in round 2 or round 3, and I was still belligerently angry at him over that.
Probably only got 5% for that week.
Yeah, so I cut his pay down to 5% for the win instead of a traditional 10% because he damaged a club that was very valuable to me.
Tough but fair.
And so anyway, we go and the video, again, on Brody's channel at the time does a couple,
it was a
great video. And so we've got this separate business sustaining. I've now locked up my tour card, essentially, and luckily, like for those next few months, like I didn't have to play. Like I was able to play a schedule where I had a nice rhythm where and not a lot of people on the Korn Ferry Tour. If there's anybody watching this, I have never played more than 2 weeks in a row on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Which again, because you finished 7th, then you quickly after that you finished in Cartagena. You finished like top 10 there.
Yeah, I finished like 5th or 6th in Cartagena.
So like again, every time he's teaming up, he's playing really well.
Yeah. It took a couple weeks, or
because of the trick shots.
And we'll get back. Like truly, we'll put a bow on like the reason he is where he is today, and PGA Tour winner, all that. Like I will stand firm. Like the trick shots are what got him to that level.
No, I was. Now it's right. So what's funny is we actually tested it back out a few months ago, or probably 6 months ago.
He's driving it bad, and I was like, Wesley,
I was a terrible driver of the golf ball until I started hitting the golf ball in midair.
Yeah, so we had a practice session of only hitting balls out of midair for a day.
And it was. I'm telling you, it was before the fall. This past fall.
Yeah.
I had really struggled last year on tour all summer. I was going to lose my card again, or for like the 7th straight year, and George was like, "Let's just get back to you were a terrible driver of the golf ball until you started hitting out of midair. So I'm gonna put you through training. So literally for a full day, all we do is hit golf balls out of midair." And I got the driver back and played awesome last fall.
Yeah.
And almost kept my card, but I did end up losing it for the 7th straight year.
Yeah. To wrap up the Korn Ferry year, it's like he wins again, but this time without me on the bag. Chad Coleman, who's Dude Perfect now, was our guy at Callaway. Won with him, so 2 wins, 3 wins gets you the tour. I won in Mexico because I think I was going to do the Monday qualifier Monday after Mexico, and I couldn't do the qualifier
at Victoria National.
Yeah, and so then he wins. I'm like, dang it, whatever. I meet him. I don't get through Monday. I caddy for him in Indiana, and then about that time we had conversations. I was like, hey, at some point you're gonna stop caddying for me because I got to get ready for Q school that year, and like I just can't caddy. Like I need to shut it down and just be a golfer. But we never really made that
so you're feeling like at that point you're feeling like
I've done my job.
You've done my job. Well, I can dedicate some more time to this.
To playing
and you're
golf.
Feeling like a little confident.
Yeah. And George's golf game had progressed and gotten a lot better
that year
during
And
so
the
trick shots.
I'm calling Wesley up. I'm booking my flights to Kansas. And I'm like, all right, I'm coming in, this day. He was like, yeah, you're not caddying for me. I already found my caddy. I'm like,
basically you're fired.
I was like, what, like, no, like I want this last one. I want to go to Kansas. Then after that, and it's like, no, I already got my guy.
You're number 1 on the money list. I've caddied you up to this point. Now you're just going to dump me. I was like, I couldn't rest my head on my pillow thinking that I could get in the way of George's playing career because I always felt like he was a better player than I was. Even at the time, in the midst of all the struggles, he looked like a more polished version of me. And I was like, if I'm out here doing this on this tour, I know for sure there's not a doubt in my mind that you can do the same thing.
Which is fair.
So
it's all fair.
I didn't want to get in the way of him playing.
Right. Well,
and I also I knew that George, to be quite honest, wasn't like an unbelievable caddy. We had a great time.
I wasn't a great caddy, but I was a great caddy for you.
No, you were. Did he spend 1 extra minute learning a golf course for me? No, absolutely
no, I didn't go
not.
Above and beyond. But
I didn't even think about
all
it.
that to say is, lo and behold, Wesley gets his 3rd win of the year in Kansas.
With a different caddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Battlefield
God.
promotion to the PGA Tour, and I'm like, sick. I could have been there, and whatever.
Right.
I was like, you're on the PGA Tour now, great. And that's kind of where the weirdness kind of started, because again, he went from trick shot, like YouTube content Wesley, to then like, oh, I got my tour card, and now I got to be PGA Tour Wesley.
Yeah.
Stop it! I know where you're going with this.
No, it was like, but everyone would have done the same thing. That like the whole reason we did trick shots was to like get to the PGA Tour, and so like obviously we're gonna choose.
You got there.
Well, no, but again, that's the whole goal. But again, I wasn't there, and so, or I was in a weird spot because I was like, well, I want you to do that, but at the same time,
now the trick shot stuff is basically completely gone, 100% gone. Like I'm on the PGA Tour at this point and definitely cannot maintain.
Yeah, and so I knew that, and again, it was tough. And I was coming to grips with it, but I didn't want to because again, like you said, it was a very successful business. And I saw but he was also playing well while he was juggling because I knew like golf was fun. It was like whatever, but then you take the trick shot out, then it turns into like PGA Tour Weslly. Like I'm locked in.
That's what I was going to ask. Was it less fun?
Well, no, it was still
he had a lot of fun,
okay.
but he was a little bit different of a person.
That's not true.
It is true, and you admit it.
I was a different person to you because you got annoying at that point because you were upset or jealous or angry or whatever it was. So it's hard to be super nice to a guy that's just super cold. And I just felt like there was always something there.
Takes a cold one to know one.
Sure
but
does.
again, and then he he's playing some of the best golf in anyone in the world. Plays well leading up to Harbortown that year, the one that he won, like top 10s, like almost wins Genesis or whatever it was at the time, Riviera, and whatever. Then he goes to Harbortown, wins. And I think that was the real, like, kind of where he kind of, in his mind, because he got in the top 40 in the world, and he needed to only be a PGA Tour player. And I think that's what, like, when Wesley does well is when he, like, is just being Wesley, like having fun, be doing stuff a little untraditionally, like playing courses, maybe not the way Tiger Woods would play a course or view golf, but like it worked for him. And he kind of turned more into like trying to be like a Justin Thomas or Jordan Spieth. Because again, they were his like peers, and they were like direct, like he was on that track. And so I think he probably felt a little bit the same way.
I still would walk up and down the range and know that, I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, I don't have what that guy has. I don't have what that guy has.
No, what I'm saying,
I mean, a huge talent deficiency from me watching Rory McIlroy.
Well, sure.
Huge talent. I'm like, there's nothing I can do in my body that's ever going to produce that.
Sure.
And so I knew I was kind of living on borrowed time, but I wanted to maximize as much as I could.
And I guess not the wrong thing,
well,
but
top 40 in the world is nothing to sniff at either.
Yeah, it was sick.
It was a solid stretch of golf. I mean, I went from doing trick shots and never playing in a PGA Tour sanctioned event to a top 50 player in the world in less than a year.
I know, that's incredible.
And,
it was cool. Again, but I knew like
now you've got the business paused essentially at this point.
The Bryan Bros is full life sport. But now the thing I will give myself credit for is pat myself on the back over here. Great job. I was like, if it ever comes back, like if I stop posting, it's all going to go away. So I'm just going to post like selfies. Hey, I'm at a PGA Tour, or a picture of my swing, or like I was playing PGA Tour Latin America, like documenting my journey of pro golf, like trying to get out on the Corn Ferry Tour, doing Monday qualifiers, doing these awful YouTube vlogs.
But we still had at the time 20 to 50,000 subscribers, and then a couple 100,000 followers on
31,000
Instagram.
Subscribers. It didn't grow much, but like I knew if you don't like post or do something consistently, it's going to go away. And I was like, if something ever happens and we do come back to it, I want it to be at least like, even if the quality's terrible, at least it's relevant and like consistent.
Yeah.
And like I said, Wesley kind of did his own thing. I was just kind of stuck in this weird middle ground. Like, what do I do? He's clearly doesn't want anything to do with Bryan Bros, which I don't blame him. But like, I kind of need him. And so anyway, kind of fast forward, he gets some injuries, kind of like his golf game kind of goes away a little bit. A lot of it.
It didn't go. It just vanished.
Yeah.
With really no coming back in sight.
2017, 2018, 2019, and then the end of 2019, some people were like, "Hey George, like you have this YouTube channel, like you're a good golfer. Still pro golf is kind of like hanging on by a thread." I was at Big Q School 2017, 18, or 16, 17, 18 on all the trick shot funds. That money was gone.
Okay.
And so now I'm like, you're kind of like
broke again.
Right. Broke again. Like I'm married. We want to have a family one day.
I was going to say, you guys have families too. You guys are, you've got all that going on as well.
Yeah. And so like, I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, I don't like truly like we're at this. I'm caddying at Sage Valley, and some people are like, hey, like there's YouTube golf is kind of a thing. Like you're good. Like just post some videos. I'm like, all right, I'll go get a tripod. We'll do like not trick shots now, but I'll film myself playing golf. And the first video is like me playing 9 holes at Aiken Golf Club. Like, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Like, I'm gonna play 9 holes. I'm gonna do Q School this year, and this is gonna be my journey. I guess 2020 would have been my journey back to Q School. And so the first one did I think it was like 8,000 views, but people are like, oh, I love this. Like, go for your chase it. I want to follow along. Like, you're good. I'm like, maybe
now he's got the support back.
Yeah, right. maybe we got something.
We're back.
And then the second one, but YouTube golf was like challengey on course vlogs, and I'm like, well, what do I do next? So let's do a 1 club challenge. I'll play 9 holes with a 7-iron only, and same thing. Like,
were you seeing that type of stuff on YouTube at the time, or were you just sort of
I was just kind of doing what some of these other. I think Garrett Clark was GM Golf was posting a lot. Rick Shields, Peter Finch, like the European guys, and so I'm like, all right, like people are starting to watch again, and like. I remember the phone call. I think COVID either just happened, and Wesley was, PGA Tour was done, and Wesley was like,
"No, COVID hadn't shut down. Like it wasn't really a thing." And I was like, at some point, like here I am, I'm busted up. I've had all these injuries, 1,000 missed cuts. Like, at some point, are you going to ask me to come back on my channel?
Yeah.
and then I find out that George is like eradicated, and now it's just his.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, I'm gone. Like I got cut out of the family business.
But at that phone call, I remember something flipped because he had kids. His heart had softened way. Like he had changed. Like,
I was always a softie, George.
The old Wesley was kind of coming back, and the phone call was like, "Hey George, like why don't you ever want me in videos?" I'm like, this is like 5 years. Like, you didn't want anything to do with it. Now you're kind of wanting. I was like, in my head, fist pumping. I'm like, he's back.
We're back.
But then, oddly enough, COVID comes and there's no PGA Tour golf. And me and Wesley had the brilliant idea of.
I'll tell you what. I remember the day that we filmed the first match, and it was the day that basically the stock market had crashed like multiple days in a row.
Yeah, but like and I was like, Wesley, let's just me and you. There's no PGA Tour golf. Let's start this match series. I'm a pro golfer. I'm pretty decent, but you're a PGA Tour current player, and there's none of that on the internet or on the TV. So like, maybe people will want to tune in. And that first match went like silly. And I was sitting there looking like
hundreds of thousands of views.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like, no. I think at the time I'd collaborated with GM Golf and did some other collabs to like kind of start like trending. But that first video, we were like, I think we got something.
Yeah, and I was like, George, I told you, you need me.
Yeah, I need whatever. You need me. So we started this match series during COVID, like every week filming a 1v1 match at Lexington. We had some different formats, but it was just to highlight professional golf on YouTube, which it wasn't,
Yeah, you're kind of the first one to actually be at that level.
Because no one wanted
to do that on YouTube.
And again, the COVID shutting down the tour for that extended period of time, like that was the only place that they could go and watch golf. So people started flooding into YouTube.
Sure.
And you started to see like, okay, now like I thought we had something with trick shots, but we also knew at some point that was going to kind of run out. Like,
there's only so many trick shots you can do. There's only so much
you can do. Like you saw Dude Perfect had shift their brand at that point.
Yeah.
And we were thinking to ourselves like, this right here feels sustainable.
Yeah.
Like us just going out and playing golf and messing around and having a good time. Like there's so much interaction and banter and good golf and bad golf and just moments that you're like, this feels very sustainable. This feels like a reality television show that people just, for some reason, are tuning back in week after week after week. And so that was when I started to see like,
maybe there's more.
I think that this is something that we can very easily legitimize.
But also like the story, like I knew that, hey, he's a PGA Tour player. Like, let's bring eyeballs on like his journey on like kind of behind the scenes of what a tour player does. Not does at tour events, but also like off weeks, practice, kind of like how he does what he does well. Also my story, like I was still like after the first few months, I was like, man, I think I might have enough money to like do Q school again. And so like to like my own professional golf journey kind of like got reinvigorated. And so like maybe we can tell my story on YouTube as well, not just like us goofing off on the golf course and matches, but also tell our story and have people come along with us and help support and like just be a part of our journey. And
it's interesting that the PGA Tour dream never died.
It's still not dead. It's dead for me. I don't know why.
Well, obviously, then you guys keep going.
So then we transition to a lot of playing stuff.
Yeah.
George's game gets really, really good. He's competitive every time he tees it up professionally in a mini tour event or a qualifier or whatever. And so he goes off to Q school and makes a run at Q school like the first year that we had fired it back up.
Yeah. It was...
Right.
No,
you hadn't gotten through first stage in like 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And
but
then he
prior
gets
to that,
through
I
first
got
stage
the exemption into Bermuda.
Right.
And so
we hadn't told anybody about that yet.
Yeah. So I got exemption. Basically, to backtrack, like I then started playing some good golf, and I'm like, well, maybe our brand's growing. Wesley's on tour. Maybe you find a tournament that like wants to give a spot to me because like I feel like my game was like at least good enough to be into the conversation. Like we had a brand that could tell a story and like highlight a tournament, but also like my game was pretty decent.
Yeah.
And in August, Javon and the team over
I built a really good relationship over the last year with the people that ran the tournament in Bermuda. And I just went down there solo. We hung out a lot, and we were doing the YouTube thing. He was very interested in it. And Danielle, the tournament director, like they were just very interested in that space. And so I just call them up. We start working on this in like the spring. Spring, summer. We're going through like, how can we do, like bring eyeballs to Bermuda? Let's do like a big content week to promote the tournament, promote the island of Bermuda. Like, can we have basically a dream buddies trip to Bermuda, promote it in exchange for George getting the sponsors invite, because this is what everybody wants to see George at the top level.
Yeah.
And so we go and it's still one of the coolest moments of my life when I finish on Friday and come back and watch George make the cut in his first PGA Tour start. And at that point, that was where it just felt like a full life dream come true. Like, hey, he got his chance to play on the PGA Tour, and then validated that his game is good enough to compete at the highest level.
Oh, it definitely was a dream come true. Because how'd
that feel when you got off the course on Friday?
Like a dream, because because again, what's this, 2023? So 3 years into doing content. So like I've done the YouTube thing, be in front of the cameras, but this one was different. I was gonna be on filming it, but also have the outside YouTube, the PGA people see if my game as a creator can hold up. On tour, and so I had more pressure and all again on top of oh wait, this is my first ever PGA Tour event that I've waited 35 years to do, and so that first tee box, I'll never forget how nervous and how insane, just the moment, but also thinking we kind of built this brand, Bryan Bros, to highlight our professional golf journey. Never thought we would get to a point where we could leverage hey, invite us into offer a sponsor exemption. We'll come highlight. We'll do our thing, whatever. And here we are, actually hitting a shot in a PGA Tour event.
But also our audience at the time just didn't, and so you have the PGA Tour audience that watches PGA Tour and the people that are highly critical of PGA Tour players, and then you have our audience. It's they're not necessarily the most educated golf. There's a small subset of them, but the audiences were very, very different from a traditional PGA Tour telecast to a YouTube video. And so
they're rooting hard for you guys,
right? They are, but they truly don't understand just how good George, I can see it from I'm out there seeing my peers play, and I'm seeing George play, and I'm like, what people don't understand is there truly is no difference in their golf games and the shots that they hit and the level of which I know George can compete. I know that he has enough game to play well on the PGA Tour. His golf game is built for bigger, longer, harder golf courses where it's not necessarily built for the rinky-dink little local muni stuff. Where I know his game is going to translate. And so I'm thinking to myself, all he needs is an opportunity, and he's gonna beat a lot of people. A normal traditional content creator that you were to throw out there, you just expect him to finish last or down towards the bottom. And since doing this, I can look at Luke Kwan play golf, and I'm like, that guy is good enough to compete on. If he were to go play in a PGA Tour event, he 100% can hold his own. And there's just levels to it that are way different. And I know where George is at. And so for him to validate all the stuff that I'd been preaching to the people, y'all don't understand how good he is. Y'all think he's amazing. He's YouTube great, but I'm telling you that there is a correlation to top level golf.
And to do it, first one ever, make the cut, play. I mean, I played really well except the third. I can't remember. I had a stretch in the fourth round, or third round where it wasn't great, but still I could have been in the top 20. I feel pretty easily. But no, to make the cut, lifelong dream right there. Was something really special because again we started the channel, we started this whole Bryan Bros thing to fund our professional career. Wesley got his, and I kind of was just well, it didn't work out for me, but it completely fine. I have a family now. I realized that PGA Tour golf, being a pro golfer, doesn't matter. Truly, I could have done anything and would have been just as happy. But there's still that always thing, like you said, the PGA Tour dream never died, and it still is in me, even though I don't want to actively chase it. The reason I practice as much as I do and want to still play in tournaments because I'm very curious to see what if
well, then later you all got paired in the same event together.
Yeah, the next year we played together, and again I'm still bitter because my game was just trash leading up to it, and I knew it was, and
but it was still good. If you had just
my putter
had a pulse around the greens,
I know
he would have made the cut no problem.
But I knew it was not a good spot. I went in there worried needing I was holding it. It was holding on by a thread. And I knew that. And we add in 20, 30 mile-an-hour winds. It's not the most comforting places to be. And it's a PGA Tour event where you're already going to be a little more, someone like me is going to be a little more nervous.
Yeah, and he gets another spot in Myrtle Beach. At the time, his game is awesome.
Yeah, played well.
And
except the driver.
And then if he just drives it
halfway normal.
Occasionally.
Make the cut there pretty easily.
He makes the cut with flat. I think he contends that week.
Yeah. So I shot 73-70, missed the cut by 3, I believe it was. But missing, usually I'm a 70% fairway guy.
Yeah.
And I hit 35% of the fairways at a course. And it was just so I did everything that I usually don't do as well. irons and putting was very good for me, but the driver, which I usually can hang my hat on, was garbage. So all that to say, we're at now 2025 but like
if you get another crack at it, you're probably going to be flying solo.
That's also true. But 2024, I've played in now 3 PGA Tour events. Got through Q School last year. I got to second stage again. Advanced 2 years in a row through first stage, pre-qualifying first stage, and then first stage last year, and had a chance at second stage where if you get to finals, you get a Korn Ferry card. Yeah. So I was like, my game has trended the last couple of years, and again, it's still that
it's not dead yet. You're still going.
I know it's just, but it's interesting because I don't want to play. Like, I would never play a full season. But
yeah, I was going to ask. So what happens? What happens if you get through? What are you going to do?
Create
I'll
content
tell you exactly what he's going to do.
Play,
he's going to say, "Don't care at all about where I finish on this money list or points list. I don't care about FedEx Cup points.
Yeah.
I don't care about. I don't even know if they have points on the Korn Ferry.
Yeah,
Korn Ferry points.
Yeah."
I just want to go play events when I want to play them and create content around them, and then I still want to do all the YouTube stuff full time.
Yeah. So it's shifted then. So it's the professional stuff is more just to prove almost to yourself.
Yeah, I think that's
he just wants to enjoy it. Like he just wants to go out and just enjoy tournaments that he earned his way into.
Well, yeah, it's fun to be in the heat of those tournaments.
Yeah,
still.
I still miss it. I had U.S. Open qualifier here a couple weeks ago. Got through U.S. Open locals. It's just the competition I just enjoy a whole lot, and for whatever reason, I'm always super stressed and nervous and on edge the whole time, but I love it. And so now I got 3 weeks and 36 holes away from playing a major.
Same with you.
Same with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were exempt based on world ranking.
I earned my spot into sectionals just like you.
But you do have
different ways.
You're not quite as tournament fresh as.
What would happen if y'all both ended up at Oakmont?
We both missed the cut. Oh, for sure. Yeah, that place is impossible.
No,
it would be fun. We would have a great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
Probably late Friday.
No, man. If I drive it well, that's
George. It's a no chancer. It is a literal no chancer.
No, I don't believe. If I believed, I'd be on the PGA Tour.
Well,
probably.
Yeah,
truly.
I mean, you can drive it great, and that's just the first of many, many hurdles to play good golf out there.
I'm a disaster mentally.
Now, the only way is if you get some really lucky draw in weather, and it blows nothing in the morning, and then like 30 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
that would be the only chance that George or I have a chance to make.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
But is it going back just a little bit? To you, did you ever think when, all right, so we're starting this YouTube channel from scratch, you guys are just like trying to make it all work, and then suddenly you're in the crosshairs of the PGA Tour, Live Golf, all of that stuff because of being on YouTube, essentially.
I mean, before Live was ever a thing, I felt like I was in the crosshairs of the PGA Tour.
Truly.
George and I always wanted to, we wanted to tell the story of the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
We wanted to be like an asset, to be like, hey, this is cool. Nobody else is doing this.
Right.
We want to be able to shed light on this. Now, also at the time, we wanted to create the best possible content, and the PGA Tour gave us that avenue.
Yeah.
But we quickly saw it shift into, I think these people are my friends, but everything they're doing and saying is they see me as competition. They want to suppress what we're doing when what we want to do is amplify what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so there was definitely tension. This is way before any of this is going back 3-4 years.
When you first
3 years
got
ago.
started.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, no one on the PGA Tour had a prior YouTube channel, and then also keep a card or have a card and say, hey, actually, let's film some more, where he was prioritizing YouTube while being a PGA Tour player.
Yeah.
Maybe it was probably 51 or 49, but still, no one on the tour is going to want to do that. And so, the tour really didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah. And so at the end of the day, they ended up making some decisions, and again, there was a lot of concepts. We're trying to innovate in our space and do the best job that we can do to provide the best product for people to watch. And it was roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And I was like, I don't think that they truly care about what I'm doing on that side, when all I'm trying to do is promote the game of golf that we love. I want to do really cool things and with my brother and make YouTube videos. And we've got, again, just like we talked about those contracts before, like there were obligations to fulfill. Now at this point with the audience that we built, like there's obligations for us to fulfill to make good stuff for them. And so like at the end of the day, the decision that I made to go was just an opportunity at an unbelievable YouTube video. With people that we grew up watching win major championships. And so I'm sitting here looking, my golf game is terrible. Again, at the end of the day, all I want to do is create content. If you were to tell me I'd win 10 more times on the PGA Tour, I still wouldn't give up the YouTube side of things.
Interesting.
So like I've completely shifted there, and now I'm completely at peace. Now I don't agree with the decision based on the rules and regulations that I'm reading and how I'm breaking down the words on the page. I understand optically how it's bad. Optically, I'm at a live event, creating content at a live event with live players. But all it ever was for us was a Grant Horvat 9-hole YouTube scramble, something that we would have done anyway offsite. Location doesn't matter. That's something that we would have done anyway, jumped at, had the chance to do it. Now Liv gave us a location for sure, but it didn't come with any obligations for me to go out and promote like, wow, Liv is amazing. It's so much better than the PGA Tour. There was none of that. All they wanted to do was for us, give us an opportunity to create the best content to put out for Grant's platform to enjoy, because again, he's got this 2v2 series with Phil. He's featured all these live players because they're relevant in the golf space. They're good personalities and they're unbelievable golfers. And so I didn't want to be tied to only having to do stuff here. And so, I made the decision, and the reason I made it is because I become so unbelievably well versed in the PGA Tour rules and regulations that I felt like at the end of the day, I knew what Jay Monahan and stance was on it. 100% knew what his stance was. But I also knew that there's an appeals committee. Like there's a chance for us. Like I got to trust that process, because what I'm looking at just doesn't necessarily make sense. But again, who's to say?
We'll see. It's interesting that's, kind of something that started from zero has now come to this enormous head, right? It's an incredible rise.
And I feel like they're thinking that again, it's been years. It's not just been that one event. It's been years of this where it feels like every step of the way that I've been threatened with, if you do this, we're going to do this, to where it's like, I don't care about the PGA Tour like I once did playing on it professionally. I still care about the PGA Tour and what it can do for the good of the game of golf as a whole. Like I want to see the PGA Tour thrive because it's a great product. It's the best players in the world on unbelievable golf courses. And a lot of my buddies are playing out there. Like I want to see the PGA Tour thrive. And so, but for me personally, I don't care as much about competing on the tour as I care about competing with George on YouTube. Sounds completely ridiculous.
I know, it is.
But
that's amazing.
That's what I want to do. And so like, threaten me all you want. I don't care. I wish I'd cared a little more, and maybe I would have made a different decision, but
that's never been your MO. You've never been the guy that's been just erred on the side of caring too much about.
Yeah, you tell me I can't do something.
That's his care. I'm the care guy. I would, George. If I was in your position, I don't know if I would have been able to pull the tricks. I care too much about like pleasing everyone. I don't know. I would have been this and again, it was not the easiest decision, but like where we are now, we value creating content on YouTube more than playing professionally. Not to say that we don't have that desire to play really well in professional events and play at a decent level. It's just like life happens, families come about, priority shift, and
and like servicing our listening to what people are saying and people that are watching, like we care about the people. Like we're not just looking at it as a click on YouTube. Like we know that there are people and they're behind each one of those views.
Well, I'm sure you talk to them a lot too when you're out and about.
And so like I know that at the end of the day, they just want to be entertained and watch us play golf, and they enjoy that. Like it's a cool bonus that they get to follow me along on the PGA Tour, but it's not like their viewership is all wrapped up in my PGA Tour performance.
It does help, though. I'll be honest. When you play well, it helps.
It 100% helps. It 100% helps. But the vast majority, if I were to never play again on the PGA Tour, it's not they're going to be like, oh, I'm done with that guy. He doesn't play on the PGA Tour. I can't follow and watch him. So
Yeah.
Like,
actually, they might though, because that means you'd be making more YouTube videos, and you might like eventually
yeah,
just
at some point I'm going to turn people off. I'll tell you what, talking about Jay Monahan, that could take a really, really dark twist in this interview.
It could. Well,
I'm not
I was gonna ask you guys. So you get to here.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're like, all right, you've accomplished so many of these dreams that you that you thought about when you were kids, and done things that you probably never even dreamed of. So then what's next? Where are you guys going to be in 5 years?
I don't know. Getting ready for the Champions Tour?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Keep the game
try
ready.
To qualify for Champions Tour.
I don't know, just keep. I
might still be serving a suspension.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
yeah, you won't be. He might.
Yeah, you'll be banned. But I think truly, like, I'm still gonna want to keep my golf game good. So that's gonna be a goal of mine, to keep it like improving somehow, or just whatever. But I think just making fun, engaging content, telling our story, and getting more eyeballs on golf, and helping kind of usher in a new generation, but also like everything that our dad gave us in this game, give back and try to like shine a light on, because again, without golf, we're not here.
Yeah.
And golf we've met a lot of cool people, traveled a lot of cool places, went to school to play golf, did just everything. Golf has given us everything. And so we want to show like how fun the sport is, how amazing it is, and do our just kind of give back everything that, Dad and everyone else kind of helped give us.
And I would say it's hard to forecast out 5 years. Like, we don't know where the content's going to be, but like as opportunities arise, just like the opportunity that we had to make a decision on with Grant's channel or whatever for that one YouTube video. Like, I don't know if it's going to be like, yes, we have a passion now for like golf courses and how they're ran, and where like we have a passion for that. I don't know if it's going to be like building out a golf business or a product line or whatever that would be, or a marketing agency or company or video. I don't know what direction it's going to go.
Yeah. But you're here for it.
Or like a streaming platform for golf. Like, again, I have no clue, but I do know that it's going to be wrapped up some way in golf, and to again it's not necessarily just bringing the eyeballs to watch. It's also getting like them a desire to get a golf club in their hand and go out and do it themselves. Yeah. And so,
do people send you videos?
Yeah.
Is it cool for you guys to watch like kids send you stuff?
Yeah.
No, it absolutely is.
It's got to be pretty rewarding.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There's again, we get flooded with messages about, I don't know, like, could you make a video about this? It's so and so's birthday, or hey, it's my husband's 50th birthday party, and wants to like, you just get such an array of cool messages of people that like actually care enough to watch our stuff and get invested in what we do, to reach out to want like a cool little moment they can share as family.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. And if you enjoyed this episode, we strongly encourage you to become a member of the Golfer's Journal, or if you already are, to share it with your friends. As a reader-supported publication, we couldn't do it without you. We also couldn't do it without the help of our partners, and they are Titleist, Scotty Cameron, FootJoy, Holderness & Bourne, Omega, Charles Schwab, and BMW. We'll see you next time on the Golfer's Journal podcast.